Greetings YouTube, my name is KarQ. We are 1 week into season 3 with the release of Shion, and 1 week is a good enough amount of time to have passed for us to take a look at the hero stats updated for the current meta. And to no surprise, Shion has been dominating, and Shion is absolutely meta. Everybody said pretty balanced on day 1, but I think my day 1 impressions that I left on this channel, I was like, I think they could probably nerf the damage, and some comments are like, wow, he says he's A tier but wants to nerf the hero into oblivion, because I kept saying the execution damage was high or the bike damage could be nerfed as well. Take a look at the screenshot of the comments on the last one, but like, I think my assessment on day 1 was quite accurate. I thought she was A tier, I guess arguably S tier, clearly with how the data has shown that she's very meta and very strong. And I think my suggestions on nerfs on that day 1 were actually pretty in line with what could make her into a healthier spot, because this is a little too good, which of course would be nerfing the execution from 140 damage, I think right now, to 120, maybe bumping it up 1 second on the cooldown. Maybe you could touch the bike damage by 10, or maybe you could just start with the execution first and work your way from there. But Shion is the TLDR meta DPS choice by far, winning at all ranks. Surprisingly easy to play with a pretty low skill floor to get good baseline value, because sometimes you'll see heroes with a great win rate in high ranks and like pretty bad in metal ranks, or the reverse, but she's consistently good at all ranks, which means even your average gold player or silver player picking up the hero can do really well with good baseline value. And of course, once you go up, even better. So consistent, that is an outlier, and that is what constitutes a meta champion. But it's a little hard to scroll through this entire website to get you a better snapshot of what the meta has shaped up to be. So there's a couple of websites that aggregate and congregate, or interpret this data. This one happens to be owherostats.com that I found. There's a couple of other ones I've used in a previous video, but that one didn't update yet. It's still stuck on mid-season 2. So I found this one. So let's take a quick look at a scatter graph and things to help interpret it a little bit easier. So this is just all the data at once, but I like going into the outliers section here to give us a better scatter graph. I'm going to filter by PC first, change the ranks instead of averaging out all ranks because that's too contextual. Let's do 2 comparisons. Your average player, which is gold in the game, and then maybe the Grandmaster player to see what the top ranked players are playing. There should be another tier for OWCS and Overwatch World Cup, because pro play would also change the meta a little bit and change the picks. But easiest way for majority players is gold, so your average players, your metal rank players can kind of see and affirm your beliefs and your interpretation of the meta. And then I think if you're Diamond Master or like Diamond and Masters should be trying to play and emulate what the top players are doing, because that's what you're striving to do. Not to say gold players aren't striving to do it, but this is to get a snapshot of what majority players are playing around gold, and then Grandmaster to see what the best players are playing in rank. So let's start with the top end first. We're gonna go with PC only, last 7 days. We're actually gonna filter by all regions. I think this is a better way to look at it instead of basing it by region, just to take a better look here. And what do we have here? We have Sigma being the clear outlier here with this is the median line, right? The 50% win rate line with a 53% win rate, and one of the most popular tank picks of the season. Very, very solid, very good personal sustain. He's never been a bad hero. He always does really good consistent damage. The rock is good up close, can stun all the Shions running around, which is kind of crazy, but yeah. Amazing hero. So who else is still dominating win rate wise? We can also see Hazard, despite the shift in the perks, still doing really well. Zarya is up here. I actually don't think I have the ban rates on this website, but I think Zarya, if we look at the other website, for the most banned hero in Grandmaster and Champion in the Americas region, it's actually Mauga Diva Zarya at 31%. Zarya is 46% if we actually filter just by tanks first. Yeah, Zarya is most banned tank in Asia, 3rd most banned tank in Americas, and in Europe it is the 4th most banned tank, but still very high. So Diva Zarya still at the top of Zarya, clearly performing really well, and the ban is definitely probably worth it. Diva got nerfed again this recent patch with the shield system perk being nerfed, along with the nerfs in the previous season. She's actually fallen a bit, but I think she still gets banned a lot because she's still really annoying to play into, especially if you're a hit scan and whatnot. But the clear outliers, Sigma by far, and then a healthy pick rate. So maybe past this line with a really good win rate are your Zarya, Hazard, are your top 3 tanks, maybe along with Reinhardt as well. Reinhardt did get buffed with the Fire Strike. They changed the breakpoint and went from 120 damage to 125. You hold 2 of them, they shoot faster, so even after a shatter, the double Fire Strike combo and some swings, breakpoints change for him. Overall, he is a pretty solid hero, especially in ranked play. You won't see him too much in pro play because they know how to kite him, but ranked play, even in Grandmaster, can definitely succeed here. Winston, not doing the greatest, like 48%. I say not doing the greatest, but 48% is close enough. It could vary by region. I'm sure maybe if I filter by Asia, Winston goes up a little bit because they love, yeah, see, He's getting carried way more in Asia. Wow, I'm surprised they do not play Sigma in Asia. They just love dive with Doomfist and Winston, along with Mauga mentality maybe, because there's people were throwing for Mauga or whatnot. And if you look quickly by Europe, they love Sigma here, Winston a lot less. Maybe that's why Winston's win rate was low when you average it out. 37% in Europe. Where are all the Winston players? But again, that's why the clear outliers, when you average them all out, these ones seem to be your best picks for the tank role. So let's see the ones at the bottom. Queen, despite being not picked very much, she's like not bad. She's right in the middle. I assume if you're a Queen only player, as long as you ban Kiriko, like Zarya is a pretty like staple ban, which makes naturally Junker Queen a lot more playable because of the bubble matchup. Super hard to play around with all your antis and your bleeds. But honestly, if Zarya and Kiriko get banned, I'm sure Queen is honestly fine in that capacity specifically. If those two are up, it feels like the hero's kind of unplayable, but there's that. The ones I want to call maybe Ramatra, not the greatest win rate nor pick rate, but I do know they play him a lot in pro play. So this is not to say that he's a bad hero per se, but he is limited a little bit with his capabilities maybe in an offensive standpoint in ranked. In pro play, they use a lot of the blocking to stall the point to allow the team to pop off. Here, if you just sit and block, like, what's going on? Like, I feel like in ranked play, you kind of just have to carry and just kill opponents. You can see a lot of the lethal tanks end up doing really well here. Like, Sigma has crazy lethality. Same with Zarya, same with Haz, same with Ryan, to be honest with you. But the heroes that make a lot of space for the team, I guess, like Winston, not to say they can't do damage, but you know what you get what I'm trying to get at here. Anyways, that's enough about that. Let's take a look at the average Grandmaster Plus damage heroes. Who is the outlier? Once again, Shion and Grandmaster Plus with the insane pick rate, insane win rate. This is your number one go-to hero. Cassidy is still up here despite the nerf to Silver Bullet. He is a great pick against a lot of flying and a lot of mobility, even against the Shions as well. So Cassidy is going to be very popular. Now, his win rate is not quite indicative to his strength, simply because a lot of people have a fallback option of Cassidy. Like if you opted to play some other hero to begin the match, and then you play Cassidy as an answer when you're already on the back foot, you're already losing, their Echo's out of control, their Shion's out of control, I guess I'll swap to Cassidy, and then you like kind of pull the average win rate down because he's your backup pick, like I just said. Same with Sojourn, but like they're still doing really well. Tracer, despite the nerfs to the blink perk, I think where like you melee, you used to get 20 ammo back, now you only get 12. Still doing all right with a pretty modest 50% win rate. Nothing too crazy, but still very popular because if you're a good Tracer, you have years of experience, you can still do really well. And then as we go down here, there's a giant clump of the DPS heroes. I think the one we want to call is Venture's very good if you know how to play them. I think Onron's pretty sneaky good. They buffed Onron again. And but if you have a really good Tracer player, you might as well just play Tracer for better in and out mobility. And then Shion has like pretty, if not better, lethality than Onron, so not as consistent. Vendetta has been brought back to life a little bit because she was pretty bad, but they had to rebuff her again after her like 6 months of dominating the ranked ladder. They nerfed her to oblivion. They finally slowly rebuffed her. Bastion's got consistently nerfed now. They still played him in pro play, but nerfed. Reaper got his HP nerfed by 25 as well, and all that stuff. Sierra, usually pretty good in gold ranks, and we can filter by gold later and see Sierra will probably rise up and do better, but she did get nerfed, and Sierra has just traditionally not been a high elo pick for a while because she's a little cheesy with her tracking dart and her grenades. Most players know how to dodge that stuff, but yeah, the clear outlier is just play Shion if you can. That's it. And then on to the supports. Kiri, Ana still dominating the support lineup to no one's surprise. Not the craziest win rate here, but you know, they're very staple and very, very solid. Ana nanoing the Shion is fantastic for the ultimate. Kitsune Rush always good. But the one I want to call is Mizuki. Crazy high win rate, very meta and very good. He got buffed with the Katashio return on this specific season 3 patch where it lasts 1 second longer, which allows you to be more aggressive with like looking for chains for your team. And then when you TP back, the cooldown is also 1 second shorter there too. So it's like 2 seconds net buff on the Katashio return. So it's way more uptime. And Mizuki was already rising in popularity and starting to become really good ever since they changed his Kekai Sanctuary last season, where it now eats bullets both directions. So Mizuki's played in pro play and very, very solid. Wu Yang always been a good staple as well. High survivability, good offensive damage. You can see all the playmaking offensive supports tend to trend towards being like popular and very strong because they can swing fights. And another one I want to call out is Zenyatta, traditionally just like, you know, for the offensive discord, still good. Brig is a great answer to Shion. Moira being up here is a big surprise when you compare this to last season, where this, honestly, the last 2 years, Moira's been like bottom win rate, bottom pick rate, especially in high ranks, but they buffed Moira's orb by 25%. Now, when you look at the patch notes, you'll see Biotic Orb HP and damage increased by 50. So it used to be 200 for the orb total. Now it's 250. Now, plus 50 at glance, if you interpret it in percentages, the relative buff is 25% more damage from the damage orb and 25% more healing out of the orb. And they said that was to like finally offset the changes they made 2 years ago when everyone's HP pool went from like 200 to 250. You know, Reaper went to 300 and all that kind of stuff. Moira's orb was always a flat 200 for 2 straight years. And now they're like, you know what? Let's actually like increase it to 250 to kind of like match people's HP pool now. So yes, you can be skill orbed from 250 to 0 if it bounces perfectly in the back and you get no healing. Like, it's actually insane how much Moira's I've seen in my own ranks and how well she is now doing. Coalescence has always been a great ultimate, and more orb damage, more healing orb damage also means you build your ultimate a little bit faster. So Moira's been a sneaky surprise to continue watching in ranked play. And I do think in OWCS specific, don't quote me on this, but somebody can fact check, I think they started pulling out some Moira in pro play again, which is a big indicator that this is a hero that's like, you gotta watch out for. Mizuki being great as well, but yeah, this is your glance for the 3 roles in Grandmaster Plus. Now let's take a quick look at the difference in your most average Overwatch players' games. In gold on PC, we have Reinhardt absolutely dominating. There we go. Sigma still here. Orisa really popular but doesn't win, so I feel like in these ranks Orisa is your fallback option. Oh, I'm losing my tank matchup, I'm just gonna pick Orisa. It's the Cassidy effect. Ramattra is actually really high up here too, probably for the ease of use. And of course, nobody really picks Wrecking Ball in gold because he's a very hard hero to play, but he does okay if you know how to play him, and that's the look you get on gold tanks. Now for DPS heroes, Shion's still an unbelievable outlier. Look at this spread and distribution, obviously attributed to being a new hero. She's cool, she's badass, but still really good win rate and pick rate up here is really solid. Like I said earlier with Sierra, she's like the 4th most picked DPS. Win rate not actually above 50% anymore, but I think last season on her release, she was like 53, 54%, which is really good. Classic hit scans, Cassidy Soldier is pretty high up here as well. And that's the look for the damage heroes here. And then in the support category, there we go, Moira, easy hero with a really easy floor, getting a lot of value with these buffs for sure. Kiriko and Ana are the fallback equivalent of the Cassidy and the Orisa. I don't know what to play, I'll play this, but we all know Moira and Mercy were very popular gold rank supports that do pretty, like, that's pretty modest. These are the fallbacks and they try to emulate the meta. They're not performing too high above 50%. They're like 48, 49, but that's okay. Mizuki is your outlier along with Zen, along with Wu Yang. Big damage coming from the support category tends to carry pretty hard. Easy damage. Illari requires a bit more precision, but Mizuki is pretty easy to just like spam. Same with Zen, same with Wu, same with Moira, and that's how you can get some pretty easy wins in the gold ranks. Let's actually switch this over to console because we have some console viewers here. Let's start with gold console. What changes on console specifically? Not too much. We see Orisa, similar story, not as high as Reinhardt falls down a bit in popularity here. Diva rises up, maybe to deal Zimmers. Mauga is up here as well, along with Ram in gold, but Orisa is your most popular gold console tank. Amongst the DPS, Shion even here on console, popping off with Soldier, Bastion, Sierra, and Cassidy. On this section, Sombra with a really high win rate up here. Maybe just people can't turn around for the invisible hero back here, so she ends up getting a really high win rate, so that's something to watch out for. And then for the support category, Moira now suddenly jumps to #1. Juno makes a great appearance up here with a very healthy pick rate and win rate. Mizuki and Zenyatta are still your top 2 by raw win rates, still pretty popular and very respectable, but these are your options. Now, if we go to Grandmaster Plus, I feel like the zimming and the hit scans might just suddenly rise to the top, if I'm not mistaken. Grandmaster console tank is Orisa. Wow, very good win rate. Sigma's up here, Mauga, Diva to maybe help deal with the zimming and all that fun stuff. I'm surprised that Doomfist is up here, but that's your look over here. This is a hit scan tank technically, so Domina is up here as well. Shion is up here, and then look at these 3 hit scans. Ashe suddenly jumps up like crazy with the crazy pick rate. 1, 2, 3 with Soldier. Tracer is up here as well, and Cassidy's down here. What else is going on in here? Soldier, Sombra, Reaper, Bastion. That's your median line right there. And now let's look at the support category. Here's a hit scan for the zimming. Baptiste with a crazy win and pick rate. Very meta on console. Some people are still playing the Kiri Ana, but why play that when you could just play Baptiste Illari in this category? Popping off here. Mizu Brig over here. Oops, I just clicked Brig by accident, but Interesting. Oh, wow. This website, I didn't even realize you can actually click the hero and get a better look at the hero across all the ranks in their distribution. Statistics are cool. So let's actually take a quick final glance at Shion really quick. They don't even have the image for her yet, but here's what you can see in all the ranks, the win rate. It looks like actually Master 49%, and it started normalizing after 2 days after the season. So this looks pretty stable. That's a good look at Shion over there. And I think this pretty much is it for the scatter graph. I think the scatter graph or the plot graph here is much easier to take a good look at the meta shaping up in season 3, but that should be that. Let me know what you guys think with how you feel about Shion, what you think are healthy nerfs, and should we touch any of the other heroes? Maybe Sigma, maybe not. I think it's important to look at stats, but also look at player perception and how a hero feels. It doesn't feel particularly cheap to lose to Sigma, so I don't think anybody's crying for Sigma nerfs. I'm not sitting here crying for Shion nerfs, but they could probably tune the execution, and I'd be pretty happy with that. But let me know what you guys think as well, and yeah, let's have a healthy discussion. Peace.